Hey family, it's Marley K. Happy Saturday. Hope you all are well. I have a story from Breitbart that's really important. It's going to play a role in how we communicate in the future if we are able to communicate at all. I will say for the record that my views are way down on everything because of the content that I share. And I just want you to pay attention to like the information that's coming into your social media feeds. You'll see a lot more dancing, a lot more people doing, skits and scenarios and just stupid stuff to keep people distracted and entertained and, senseless stuff that has nothing to do with what's coming. Those things have thousands of views. Somebody doing a skit can have 75,000 views, and then somebody like me putting out some content will have 25 views or, 25 likes and 800 views. So, what we're trying to get out to you, like content creators like myself and others who are awakened, um, some of us are spiritually awakened, some of us are just, telling you what we see through our natural eyes. Everybody's not religious, so on and so forth, but people who are awakened and can see what's coming are sounding the alarm, and our stuff isn't getting out. So there's a reason for it, and all these platforms are in on it. But I want to read you this story because it ties into some of the things that I've been telling you about. And I hope you're taking heed to the things that I've been talking about. If you do, hear the sound of my voice, I don't know how long we're going to have before we're silenced. And I don't know if, we'll be silenced because of an EMP strike. I don't know if we'll be silenced because, our content will be blocked. We might be disappeared. We don't know what's going to happen. But, and this UN who campaign to combat disinformation and misinformation, we are being silenced and we're getting strikes on our channels. So please make sure you, sign up for Rumble and Odyssey and follow me on those communication mediums because I may not be on YouTube, but YouTube is the preferred uh, site where people like to gather to get their information. So until people learn how to gravitate towards other platforms to get information, it's really going to be challenging to talk to people. And even then on the independent platforms, they may be shut down. If these countries are giving away their powers to the UN and to the World Health Organization and other uh, one world governing bodies, we're quickly on our way to a one world government. For white people who don't believe in nothing, you're atheist, agnostic, you might not know what that means. For those of us who are Yasharel, you are Jewish, you are Christian, you understand what one world government means. And we understand the persecution that is going to come along with us resisting what is coming. So, with that said, I just want to read to you about the UN's demand. The UN demands global guidelines on internet speech to silence insects thriving in the dark. So we are always relegated to being bugs or some unclean thing to them when we resist their agendas. And as Black people, and I say this as Black people, I know other people listen to me and they get offended. I talk about Black people because everybody else can talk about their own people, talk to their people, and nobody has anything to say. We ain't even in y'all's business, but when we talk, for whatever reason, everybody is offended and they feel as though, you know, equality applies to us when everybody else skirts us, ignores us, circumvents us, steps over us, leapfrogs us. I don't have time for that chicanery anymore. I talk directly to Black people because Black people are the bottom of the totem pole. We're the least protected and least respected. So, when it comes to the true Israel, um, we have to look out for ourselves, and we understand, according to biblical prophecy, what is coming. It's going to get dangerous. It's going to be hard for us to communicate. And so it's really going to be important for us to stick together. It's going to be important for us to get in order. It's going to be important for us to come together and work together. And it's going to be important for us to watch for all these different signs and all these different things that are coming together at one time. So let me get into this article. I will leave a link to it in the description. Please look at it. Do your own research, but understand you need to be paying attention to what is happening everywhere. Don't get distracted by this war because these governments are giving away their powers for people to rule over us and control us that we didn't elect. And so you're seeing it with the World Health Organization, and you're seeing it through the United Nations. You're going to see it in a lot of other areas too that I can't talk about here on YouTube. But I'm working on something now, and I'm going to do a Rumble video, and I'll, put a link here so that you can access it. But a lot of stuff is happening. I can't talk about it, but it's really important. And when people wake up and figure out what's happening, it's going to be too late. So again, keep preparing. Try to be as self-sufficient as you can. Try to learn and get all the information you can. Buy books. If you got videos or anything that you like, try to download those things off the internet. Print stuff out. Do what you got to do to become self-sufficient, because a lot of stuff is going to disappear. A lot of information that you've been told about is not going to be there. It's going to be wiped clean or hidden, blocked. If we lose power, you're not going to have access to the internet anyway. So you should be preparing by having books and printed materials in your home. And you should have, backup things. If you don't read the Bible, you best to be getting you a couple. And I would recommend getting some old ones, because the new ones that they're printing, a lot of stuff has changed in them. So it's getting ready to get real out here. The censorship is getting bad. And especially with, us Black people, because we tend to tell the truth and be the moral compass for Babylon. Babylon is resisting, and we're going to be silenced. I'll just say that. All right. United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, an agency best known for maintaining a list of humanity's most cultural heritage sites, demanded the establishment of global guidelines for the regulation of social media in a conference on Wednesday to address alleged disinformation. And so you remember I was telling you about, the allegations, and these people keep talking about misinformation and disinformation because, the dominant society loves to control history. They love to control language. They love to control how we speak. They just love to control. And so if you don't do what they say, you're wrong. They're not wrong. And we're getting ready to move into a new era of this, but it's going to be a lot harsher. It's going to be a lot more violent. It's going to be a lot more punitive. Participating in the conference based in Paris were Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, a convicted felon who spuriously referred to his opponent, Jair, Bolsonaro, as a pedophile in an online podcast during last year's presidential race, and Maria Ressa, a Filipino journalist who faced government persecution for allegedly reporting disinformation under former President Rodrigo Duterte. So this president of Brazil, he is a WEF flunky, a do boy. He is in on the plan for the coming thing that happens in 2030. And it's just interesting. That's what I'll say. UNESCO's event was titled the Internet of Trust Conference and featured speakers demanding a global governance structure to silence hate speech, misogyny, suppression of free speech, doxing, and conspiracy theories. The last piece is important because that's what we're always called when we're telling the truth, you know. We'll tell you something 6, 7 months later, it'll come true. You never hear, oh, the conspiracy theorists were right. They really weren't conspiracy theorists. They just label us, just keep labeling us every time, you know, we tell you what we see. We share with you our visions. We share with you our dreams. We share with you our prophecies of, you know, what downloads we get from the Most High. And they just call us conspiracy theorists. And this is intentional. So they've been labeling us conspiracy theorists for the last 3 years, and they've slowly but and quietly been silencing us. So now here we are at this point where they're getting ready to come up with a global language. Everybody going to be on the same page. There was not going to be any free speech. The agency emphasized its opposition to sovereign countries taking individual actions they deemed appropriate to address the existence of speech online. If these regulatory initiatives are developed in isolation, with each country working in their own corner, they are doomed to fail. So here is this one body claiming to be able to help everybody in the world be on the same page. One world government is forming right under your nose, and our rights are being given away by these leaders who have sold us out. And when we identify that, they call us conspiracy theorists. So I'm letting you know I probably won't be around much longer because I will be silenced. So I hope that, you know, you are able to download the videos that I've done. You can, you know, just recall some of the stories that I've shared with you, and just prepare. That's all you can do, because you can see where things are headed. Information disruption is by definition a global problem, so our reflections must take place at a global scale. Now, I ain't doing nothing to nobody globally. I can't help. I use a medium that transmits information globally, but I'm talking to people in America. But you know, they get to determine what is a problem, and we have to deal with the repercussions of whatever they come up with. UNESCO's Director General Audrey Azoulay lamented on Wednesday, noting that at least 55 countries are working on suppression of speech online. So we already know America is, but other countries are too. So they're going to they're working on this one world government. They're working on speech. They're working on it with the lollipop policies, lollipop distribution. They're coming up with these digital IDs and passports. So things are going to go offline and come back online. And when you know anything, it is going to be a totally different world. What I can tell you what you should be doing is throwing away anything digital that you have that can track you. When the lights go off and come back on, you need to have a phone in the trash can. You need to have a plan figured out how you're going to live. You need to get rid of all your flat screen TVs. They should be tossed. Um, tablets, anything that is tied to this new technology that's getting ready to come online that they're going to use to track us. You should be not using it. Um, I hope you're ready. That's all I gotta say. In a promotional video to announce the conference, a spokesman for UNESCO referred to users online violating the boundaries of appropriate speech. So they get to tell you what is appropriate. As insects thriving in the dark. We are insects thriving in the dark, y'all. In her address on Thursday, Azule argued that regulation was necessary online because the truth is allegedly unpopular. It surely is, because the people telling the truth are the people that folks would least expect it. And the biggest liars you've ever seen are people we go out and vote for, our elected officials, our people that are in positions of trust, our healthcare providers, police, our governors, our city council people. Everybody is stabbing us in the back, taking away our rights, and then they're telling us, well, we're doing the best thing for you. No, they're not. They don't give a crap about us. They don't give a crap about us. They don't. So anyway, I'm not going to read any more of this because I'm probably going to get in trouble already. But I will post this in the description along with the actual link to this meeting so that you can go and also check it out. But if you can, keep an eye on what's happening at WEF, WHO, and the UN, because those are going to be the sovereign body, the bodies, not sovereign, I'm sorry. Those are going to be the governing bodies of the one world order. And Babylon is helping to spearhead it all. A lot of people are going to be shocked at what's coming, but I don't want you to be shocked. If something is being labeled as a conspiracy theory, I suggest you read it. And even if you can't see it, even if you don't believe it, please pay attention to it, because I have found over the last couple of years, there's so much stuff that we don't know about. But anyway, I'm gonna have to do a couple of videos to catch you up on things that I can't talk about on YouTube that I'm sure Black people are not aware of. But we need to know these things because we are told that we need to keep watch. These things are signs to let us know what is coming. And the reason that it is so important for Black people to know what's going on, because everything that is happening is about us, true Israel, African Americans. We are targeted. We got bullseyes on our head, bullseyes on our backs, our men, women, and children. These people are trying to be God. And these people understand that their time is almost up. And not these people per se, not all of them, because a lot of people are just doing the bidding of Satan. They're like Satan's little helpers. And they think they're doing something good for the world. A lot of them know they work for the devil. They already know who they work for. And they got to pay their debt. They sold their souls, so they got to do the work. At the end of the day, it is all about us. And so that's why I spend so much time talking about what's coming, because we are Israel. We are Jacob. We are children of Israel. We are the chosen people. And so if they can keep us asleep, if they can kill us off because we're asleep, then we can't cry out and ask for the Most High to come and save us. They've been spending since they've been in power and rulership over the world, over the earth, they have spent hundreds of years digging up artifacts from the Bible, collecting stuff, and they know more than what they're telling us, which is why what you see happening in the Bible, in Matthew and Isaiah and Revelations and in the scriptures, just different scriptures about what happens in the end when it's the last time, and the frequency and the severity of the events. People have been saying, "Oh yeah, the end is coming, the end is coming." Yeah, from the beginning, the end comes. You got to reach the end, but you can feel the intensity of the labor pains, and you can feel the enemy closing in on us, like the children of Israel when they were trying to leave Egypt and Pharaoh was coming after them. This is what's happening now. We found out who we are. The awakening started happening. The 400 year of our being here in America ended in 2019, 2020, and things just started changing after that. They know, they understand our captivity was over, after the 400-year curse and enslavement. And so now it's time for us to be free, but they don't want to let us go because they understand when we go, they have to endure the wrath of God. Their people got to go into captivity the way that they put us into captivity. They have been the head and they have to become the tail. So they are fighting tooth and nail to do whatever they can quickly, suddenly, so that we can not be here and so they can stay in power. It ain't going to work because nothing that the dominant society does ever works. But there is a possibility that some of us perish because we don't have the knowledge, because we don't listen, because we don't pay attention to the signs, because we're disobedient and we don't watch, because we don't pray and repent and ask for forgiveness and turn back to the laws, statutes, and commandments that are made for us. This world is quickly coming to an end. Babylon is going to fall. Babylon is going to be desolate. And let me read you what it says before I'm out of here. This is Jeremiah 50, 12, 14. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. When Babylon, which is the west, took the children of Israel into captivity and they treated us the way that they treated us, like worse than animals, and they've continued to mistreat us over the 400 years, they're going to pay a price for that. They have not ever done recompense. They've been indifferent to our suffering, and they have harmed us in ways that only the soil and the Most High knows. We don't even know all the things that they've done to us because, we've been kept in the dark. But just know everything is coming to a light. We are having dreams. We are having visions. Our prophets, elders, scribes, pastors, teachers are waking up. They are coming together. They are teaching us. We are getting back in order, and we are praying, repenting, and crying out because we see what's coming. People who are not true Israel don't understand. Gentiles, they don't have a clue. And we're not going to be able to tell them nothing. You notice how you try to tell white people stuff and they're just like, they always got a contrary answer. They always got something to say. They don't understand. They got a whataboutism. They don't have what we have. They're not us. They're not true Israel. They don't understand what is coming. This civilization is going to fall. And it's not just America. It's going to be the entire West. The white world is going to fall. It's not going to be anything that we do because we sitting back eating our popcorn, chilling. It is going to be the Most High and his wrath poured out on this earth. Some of it, he's going to allow them to do to themselves, but some of this is going to be his doing. They understand what is coming. And when I say they, not all of them, just regular Gentiles. They know, things are bad. They don't really understand how bad because they have an air of superiority. And they believe that nothing bad can happen to them. They think they live in the greatest country in the world. They think America is a superpower and can't fall. They think because we have nuclear weapons that, we're going to be fine and nobody will ever challenge us. They don't really even understand what is coming. So I'm just going to tell my people, y'all keep your heads high. Stay on your knees. Don't be fearful. And don't be anxious. I know it's difficult because I have to tell myself that too. But understand something spiritual is happening and we have to be prepared for it. We have to be prepared physically and we have to be prepared spiritually. So my suggestion is, try to wake up as many people as you can, but prepare yourselves. A lot of us are not going to make it because we just don't pay attention to the things that we need to pay attention to. There are signs and symbols everywhere. There are prophets and people with visions and dreams speaking all over everywhere. And people just aren't paying any attention. Get what you can get it fast, get it in your head, get it in your heart. Let your hands do the actions. Just continue to prepare. That's all I can say. Because the day is coming where we can't talk to each other anymore. And, when that day comes, all you can do is remember. Remember what you learned. Remember what you heard. Watch for the signs. And, let the Most High, through his Son, fight our battles because we can't. There's no way we're going to be able to get out of this. There's no way we can't keep them from silencing us. We can't keep them from taking our money and controlling where we, if we are able to buy, sell, or trade. We can't keep them from contaminating the soil and the water and the air. We can't stop them from controlling the weather. We can't stop them from doing anything. We can't stop them from unleashing the demons out of the pits of hell. All these things are prophesied that they're going to happen. But if we're on the right team and on the right side and doing the right things, we won't have to endure the tribulation. We just have to live through these birth pains, the labor pains. And right now we're just at the very beginning and it's uncomfortable. We can see the baby coming, but we just gotta be patient and continue to do the work. So with that said, y'all, I am out. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, because if y'all don't share it and like it, it won't go anyplace. And people need to understand what's coming. You think people got TikTok brains now and living in the metaverse? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. So just know, when that day comes, you need to be trying to get rid of your technology, and hopefully you'll be finding other ways to communicate, even if it means you got to walk to your neighbor house and knock on the door. We're going to have to get back to the basics because this thing is about to get real. All right, y'all, I'm out.